We met in the mid-90s and did our first performance together. Barbara, myself, and Nancy Meli Walker did a show in Barcelona. I do remember a few things. I remember that we filled the stage with glass that Nancy and I brought from New York, Nancy's glass. And the video performance was like through the glass, like cameras shooting through the glass and then mixing between the cameras and then playing with light through the glass. And so we just kind of like did as many explorations of how light would bend through the glass. Barbara and I are both working with these beat frequencies, frequencies that are close to each other, and the peaks and the valleys are adding up and subtracting with each other to create the sounds and images that we're performing. So in the case of this little box, I have another 4 oscillators that are adding to that main shape. So the main shape is this vertical going bar. Here's just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But then on top of that, I'm adding these horizontal going bars. So if I turn it way down, it's going so slowly that it's actually just kind of not even creating a bar. It's just changing, slowly over the course of several frames. But if I turn it up fast enough, then it actually creates these oscillations where it's going back and forth more than once during a frame. And if I just gradually change the fine-tuning knob, I can eventually get the shape stable because I'm synchronizing it with that vertical frame rate. For our next project, Barbara has proposed to do a piece that's somewhere between an installation and a music and visual performance. And so my video synthesizer will actually output 4 channels. The Dave Jones video synth prototype has 4 separate RCA outs, and those can go to 4 separate channels out to the audience. So we're really interested in exploring this idea of like, what's the line between an evolving sort of generative audiovisual system in an installation and then the performer's intervention into the system.
I have a new, very small Moog synthesizer that I bought as sort of, I'm always looking for something to accompany the flute.
The show we just did with David Linton's 6.0 event was our second collaboration, and we started off with the idea of breath. So, breath as a measurement for changes, both musically and visually. Breath as a controlling signal. So the breath actually, Barbara's breath, of course, makes the flute sound, but as well, you are controlling your synthesizer with your breath, and then that was fed into my video synthesizer to control the imagery with Barbara's breath. So I can take Barbara's sound and I can use that to just become directly visualized. So Barbara's breath through her flute or the electronics that she's sending out to me can directly draw a shape, or actually you can take a shape that I'm already creating and modify it, maybe like push it to the side or make it grow or shrink. We have different ways of playing with that dynamic where Barbara is directly shaping not only sound but image. And then the other thing actually that I think is worth mentioning is that Barbara also is shaping the video at times because I'm pointing a camera at her. So sometimes I'm capturing her performance, but you might be so highly processed by the time it hits the screen that, after these image processing filters are done with that camera feed, it may be almost completely unrecognizable as a shot of you playing flute or your hand turning a knob on the Moog synthesizer. But nonetheless, I think for people in the audience, even if it's a completely blurred and distorted image, they get that pretty quickly.